Okay. Here we are. We are now in Natron, getting ready to do a track PM track test in comparison to Blender as well as in Motion 3D. As you can see, I've already loaded up the particular file. Now, due to the fact I have loaded this file, or I downloaded this file from HollywoodCamerasWorks.com, and I always like to use this particular file because it has everything you can possibly I say everything though, but it's a good little image sequence to teach people how to do garbage masking, rotoscoping, also to tracking, camera, color correction, and grading. But for right now, we're going to test out the Tracker PM in comparison to the applications I just aforementioned. Now, what I'm going to do first is put a resize node because the resolution of this particular image here is 1280 by 1080. So that means it came off a tape, probably like some DV cam, DVC 50 cam, that wasn't, this maximum resolution was 1280. And they're 1280 by 1080. So in order for us to get this individual HD file to its true aspect ratio for a full HD, we have to change the project settings, which is basically down here, to HD, and then we still have to make the adjustment to the file here. See, go to the particular format of HD, so it will fill out. And as you can see right here, it has filled out the particular screen. Now, because of the fact of the matter is I had scaled this particular file up, and if you come over here into this section here, it tells you basically that Lanxess 3 is great for downscaling. But because I had to upscale this particular file, so I'm going to put it on this Blackman Iris. So at least the pixel information will be nice and concise. So also too, the file itself is 30 frames per second. So let me come down here in the project setting and change that to 30. Then I'm gonna lock the range. Don't have to do all that, but it's force of habit. Close that. I don't need all that. Now what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna cache this file. Give the track PM a head start by caching this video into memory. And as you can see right here, it's doing a memory cache right now. Now what I'm going to do too is also to bring in the Natron cache that I have going directly to the drive. Now as you can see here, the viewer cache is only showing 119.4 megabytes, but the memory cache is shown, well, it's going to go probably going to go up to like at least 3 gigabytes or 4 gigabytes. So what I'm not understanding is that if this right here is caching in the memory, then what this right here is doing here, because nothing is basically updating. So move that out the way. And as you can see here, now it is moving relatively fast as we are caching everything into memory. 248 frames, 30 frames per second. So it's going from 1280 by 1080 to 1920 by 1080. So it did its full cache, and I say in a few seconds that it should be going, this right here should be going up to 30 pretty soon, because it already done cached all that into memory. So let's give it one more pass, and then we're going to add the tracker node. Okay, it's still reading at that, so it is something that the developers need to do, or you developers need to check into. Now, at this point right here, now we know it's been cached in the memory at 3 gigabytes. Now I'm going to go here and add the Tracker PM node. Now, what I'm going to do here now is come over here, and I'm going to add a tracker to this feature here. Then I'm going to stretch it out. And I'm going to close that down. Gonna need to have all that. Then I'm gonna stop it from updating or playing back, and I'm gonna go into this section here and say, okay, from this point, track forward. Then we're gonna see how long this thing here is gonna track. As you have noticed, is that the cache information that was on this particular bar here is no longer showing there. Only thing is showing now is the actual blue bar that is tracking all this information, or doing this tracking analysis of this particular marker here. And as you have seen from the other updates videos I had just posted, the Blender software, when I was doing the 2D track, it was already done. I say by the time that the track analysis right over here probably get to 80, that would have been done inside Motion, because Motion is using the graphics card as well as it's being slowed down by the screen capturing as well. And also too, because Motion 3D also too runs off the GPU. So the response to that and the playback to that would have been slow. Now, as you see here, Natron does not run off the graphics card. It's run off strictly off the CPU. And we are still waiting and waiting and waiting for this thing here to track. So in comparison, if you're going to use two open source softwares and both of them is not really using any GPU to accelerate their tracking abilities, we would think that Tracker PM would already have been done already. But you can see here now, there's already been close to 2 minutes that this feature here is still tracking. It's a 248 frame. So I'm gonna let this thing go all the way through and record it, then upload it to YouTube and give it to you guys at the core development, and tell me what is possibly can be going on with Natron with this tracker PM node. Also, too, for those who are watching this as well, overall, I say out of 100%, Natron is really kicking butt, at least at, I'll say 95 to 96%. But that extra 4 to 5%, that I say that is causing me to have a love-hate relationship with this particular tracker node, because a lot of the work that I do from time to time, especially doing with corporate videos and corporations now, well, especially here in Cleveland, USA, they are branching out and opening up certain divisions in their own magazine companies, their B2B business magazine companies, and other corporations that's dealing with, that produce their own particular videos. They're getting more and more into visual effects for the particular, to sell the particular product. If they're not selling magazines, they selling products and doing other accounts for the magazines for their clients who are advertising in their magazines. And since I found out about Natron, I have been pushing the idea that said, hey, you know, all these other high-end compositors, well, you say like, yeah, compositors to like After Effects or Motion 3D. There's some others out there, Nuke, Digital Fusion. Those particular programs come with a cost, and of course you have to buy licenses for all your art directors and all your editors who have to use this particular software to generate a certain effect. So along comes Natron. Just right out the box, you can do a nice little small feature film. You know, if it's not requiring a whole bunch of visual effects work that needs to be into a particular pipeline. But I'm pushing the idea to say, hey, you know, start going open source, whereas that, you know, there's a community out there who can help you with all your individual needs, and you can save money a month, then have to worry about paying any kind of cloud-based subscription. I mean, that's like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. It's like you spend all this money on the software and you're still gonna be charging more money every month just to get the updates. And 9 out of 10 times, it takes you 6 months to get the update that you really need, but you have already done paid thousands of dollars, hundreds to thousands of dollars to get the update, which doesn't make any bit of sense. But that's the way the world of marketing, because a lot of these companies that's charging you with all these individual subscriptions, I'm assuming that they're losing money. People's realizing there's more powerful open source software that's doing what they're doing and doing it better. So Natron is one of them. And as you see here now, I've been talking for the past 5 minutes and it's still tracking. In comparison to the speed to Blender, and also this comparison to the speed of motion, the tracker node is almost unusable for doing real-time tutorials. And if you have to do at least say 15 or 20 shots, and all of them is requiring single shots or single markers or 2 markers or a corner pin, this is a 4 marker track, and you're doing it across a numerous of shots, this can really slow down your pipeline a great deal. That's not only just basically just like, replacing elements, but also too, if you're going to be tracking a feature to add whatever kind of, would it be for rotoscoping, would it be for adding a blur effect or inline effects over the marking features, it can get kind of like very, very time consuming just on the tracking alone. We're almost there. So it's a good thing that I had actually stopped the playback of the actual video while it was doing its tracking analysis, because if the video track was playing back, it would actually be taking longer than this to get like any kind of tracking result in the progress bar. And also, to a side note, before you start releasing the snapshots of the beta version of Natron 2.0, the last version, I think, was a 1.2.1. The tracker was pretty quick, but unfortunately, with the 1.2.1 and the new version of the snapshots, there's still some kind of incompatibility. Or something you have to there's no backwards compatibility. I guess 2.0 can open up a 1.1, but a 1.1 can't open up a 2.0 because a lot of the node and internal changes into the API has changed. So it's almost like a break in workflow. You have to keep going back in between versions of the software, and especially if you have to do anything like a tutorial, that's just out of the question. All right, so it has just finished, and that blue line to indicate that the tracking mark is finished, and like I have to go through another recache again. But anyway, I'm going to stop the recording here. I want to show you the difference between Blender, Motion 3D, and also to Natron, where is that the track PM really needs to be looked at. I don't know if the tracker node is the issue, or if there's a buffering issue for the playback and the memory is not updating properly like it should. I hope that can get fixed, because tutorials need to come, and that tracker node needs to be a lot faster than what it is. Okay, thank you. I'm going to be uploading to YouTube, and hoping you guys at the core developers can really check into this. Thank you, and y'all have a good evening.